Hello and welcome to Brandy's Cards.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome to Brandy's Cards. I'm super excited that you are joining me today. I have a fun card to share with you from the Nothing's Better Than bundle. It is absolutely adorable. If you like cookies, cocktails, coffee, any of the sort, there's some really fun sentiments and some things that you can play with. So I absolutely love this bundle and I couldn't hardly wait to share it with you. So this bundle is actually featured in our Stampin' Up! Annual catalog. And this catalog goes through May 3rd of 2021. So this is our current annual catalog. And so if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please let me know. I'd love to send you a set of our catalogs. And if you already have one, well then you're going to want to open it up to page 91 because I am so excited to show you the card that I cased from that page. So I love cookies. And right now is where it's, right now is like the time where like I love to make like hot, gooey chocolate chip cookies. They're like my absolute favorite. And so today's card I loved out of the catalog because it looked like some chocolate chip cookies to me. So let me show you. Here's the bundle, and I'm also going to show you the card that we're going to case today. But you can see here, this is our Nothing Better Than stamp set. There's so many fun sayings in here. Today's plan to, consume chocolate. A day without, and you could do chocolate is like, just kidding, I have no idea. There's just so many fun things in here that I love this set. It's just precious. And then you can, you do have the option to purchase it with the Love You More Than dies. So you can stamp these words, right? Or you can die cut them out. So I thought that was quite clever. So here, let me show you the card that we're going to case today. And it is on page 91. So there it is right there, page 91. And I loved this card right here, Love You More Than. Cookies. I just thought it was awesome. And I couldn't hardly wait to recreate it. So that's what I'm going to show you today. And I'm actually going to do it in a different color. So this designer paper that you see behind here is from the Brights collection, and I'm going to show you what that looks like or where that's at. So the Brights Designer Series paper collection is going to be on page 150. And you can see the various numbers here. And so that's what we're going to use for the background today. So here we go. I have... so you've seen this card already, and I'm going to show it to you here real quick. This is in Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay. That's right. So those are the colors that I originally did off of the one that was in, cased off of the one that was in the annual catalog. So here's what the Designer Series paper looks like. Lots of beautiful colors to choose from. Stampin' Up! Did theirs in red. I did this one in Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay. But you know what? I had to pick another color. I do have some Bermuda Bay here, but I didn't really want that look, and I didn't really want the words. Although they probably would have looked fine, I liked the fact that it kind of encouraged me to find another color. So what color do you like in here? Which color would you go with? Of course, Melon Mambo would be fantastic, or even Flirty Flamingo, but I wanted to kind of change it up. So I decided to go with Pacific Point. So that's the color we're going to use today, is Pacific Point. So let's give this a try, okay? So I have all of my things here. It's cut and it's ready to go. My card base is actually, the card base that I chose is actually Balmy Blue. That's right. So I decided to go with Balmy Blue. And I've got my Balmy Blue here, and I have some liquid adhesive. And so what I've got, let me just kind of show you real quick. I have Petal Pink, And I also have a piece of white, basic white for the inside. And then I have a scrap piece or two of early espresso, and that's for the Love You More Than. And then of course you're gonna need the front piece, and that's gonna be a basic white. And then I also cut a heart out of the Many Hearts dies. So I cut the heart out of that, and I did a petal pink heart. And the petal pink heart is out of this die right here. So I just thought that was really, really pretty. So that's where I got my, my heart from. All right, so now let's set this aside. And we're gonna go ahead and I think start to build our card. Now I did cut my designer series paper. So if you're new to Brandy's Cards, all of the sizes and the dimensions will be on BrandysCards.com. So all you have to do is just go to my website and type in there. If you don't see it right away, type in there nothing's better than, and it should pop up. And you can also type in cookies in the search bar, and you should find it that way as well. Okay, well, let's get started building this card. And let's see here. I have my petal pink, and I think we're going to start to layer it up from the inside first. So I have my basic white, and I've got some liquid adhesive. I'm going to center that right here on top of my petal pink. We're going to flip that over, and then we're going to add this to the inside. So we're going to add that right here on the inside of our basic blue. What a beautiful combination, that petal pink on that balmy blue. I just really, really like that a lot. Okay, so here we go. We have our Pacific Point. And I liked the Pacific Point layered on the balmy blue because the circles on this designer paper were light. So it looks like it was meant to be. It looks like it was meant to be, and I just thought that was so cool. So very, very cool how that layers up beautifully. And then of course I have my basic white piece here, and I have some Stampin' Dimensionals. And what we're gonna do is we are going to pop this piece up. That's right, so I'm just gonna kind of put my dimensionals a little bit more towards the inside, because if you look at the sample on page 91, we're gonna add some cookies around it. We're gonna add some cookies around it, okay? So here we go. I am going to center that right here on top of my card. Okay, now I have my petal pink hearts. Such a pretty color. We're just gonna add some liquid adhesive behind that, and I'm gonna add that one right here to the top of my card. Okay, now we're gonna move to some die cutting. Now I have to tell you that if you have some adhesive sheets, I would highly recommend adhesive sheets for this next part. Although I could not find any adhesive sheets. I think that I used them and I thought that I had ordered them, and I so did not. So we're gonna do it without adhesive sheets. It can absolutely be done, but it definitely is a little bit more work. But you can do it, and it's always nice to see kind of another way. So here's the die that we're gonna use today: Love You More Than and Cookies. Those are the two we're gonna use. I'm gonna pull in my mini cut and emboss machine, which I love. And I have a piece of early espresso here, cardstock. I'm gonna put my die down, and you want the side of your cutting plate, this kind of, angled side, to go in first, right there on the top. All right, so we're gonna run that through, just like that. Takes a little bit of work to get that through, but it's not too bad. And then I have my my die brush, my Take Your Pick die brush, right? And I love this thing. I just think it's fantastic. Now, you can use your brush and kind of work it out. I sometimes think it's just as easy sometimes with this type of thing, just to sort of poke some of those with your tool, and then kind of run it through. So you know what, you just have to kind of figure out what works for you. So I am going to kind of pop these out. like such, and kind of work it. And then this is gonna pop out, and I have love you more than, right? And so today I have chosen cookies. I love you more than cookies, but you could do cocktails, you could do coffee, whatever works for you. So we're gonna bring back in our cut and emboss machine, our mini, and I have another piece of early espresso, and I'm gonna do cookies. That's the next thing. Now, could you run these together? Certainly you could, but I wanted to make sure that I got a nice cut for our video today. So not that you wouldn't, but I just wanted to make sure. So I'm gonna run that back through, and we're gonna move that out of the way. Now the thing here with cookies is you're gonna wanna make sure that you don't, lose the little dot for cookies. Trust me, I have done it, and it's like, oh my gosh, where did it go? And it does. You do need the dot, you know, the dot for your cookies. So you can see this one cut out beautifully as well. And I'm just going to pull that up. Oh, there's my little dot. We don't want to lose that guy. So I'm going to kind of push him off, and there we go. Save him off to the side. Okay, so let's kind of poke out our pieces out of the center here. And if you have your take your pick tool and your die brush, you can sometimes just kind of poke those little extra pieces, kind of move that process along a little bit quicker. Okay, so we're going to bring back in our card, and so there's a couple different ways here in which you can do this. You can take your liquid adhesive or a fine tip glue pen, or a fine tip, glue pen if you'd like. Just something that you can work with quite easily in order to add your adhesive here. If you're like seeing me do this and going, oh my gosh, why isn't she using adhesive sheets? Well, I had adhesive sheets and I can't find them. I think on one of my previous cards, I used them up. So I am going to improvise because I was super excited to show you this card today, and I think it can be done just as well without adhesive sheets. So another thing that you can do that I have done in the past is just put a little bit of glue, maybe on a piece of paper or a scrap, or if you have one of our silicone craft sheets, you could put it, the glue right on a silicone craft sheet. But it's kind of nice because you can kind of just tap the glue onto the back of the lettering, just like that. Perfect. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so I personally find that I kind of like it better this way, but of course, everybody needs to do what's best for you. Just got to poke that one little piece out. He didn't actually come all the way out. So I'm going to add a little bit more. And the other thing to think about here is you don't have to have glue on every single letter. So you just need a little bit here and there so it'll hold it down, but it doesn't have to be perfectly glued, if you know what I mean. So just keep that in mind. So love you more. And we're going to push that guy down. There's a little bit of paper there. Okay. Now we've got than. So let's pull out our than. Love you more than. And then we're going to go straight to cookies. That is our next one, is cookies. So I'm just kind of adding my adhesive to the back of that. And like I said, if you have those adhesive sheets, those would be fantastic for this. Okay, and now I've got my cookies, and I am going to add the adhesive on the back of that. Now, when I look at this, it's like, okay, well, I love coffee, and I love cookies, so anybody who knows me knows that if I said I love you more than cookies, that's a big deal. Especially it's February, and right now the Girl Scout cookies are coming out. Oh my goodness, and I love them. Oh my goodness. So here we go. I'm going to add cookies to the top of my card, and then I am going to take and make a little bitty dot, just like that. And you can use your take your pick tool, or in that case, your finger. If you have, you know, a little bit of glue on your finger like I do just from doing this. So there we go. That is the top of our card. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to stamp some cookies. In this stamp set, you know, you can make all kinds of cookies that you would like to make. But today we're going to go with some chocolate chip cookies. So this piece is going to be an early espresso, and then I'm going to come over the top of it with a two-step stamp in crumb cake. So those are the two colors that I have chosen to use today. We have early espresso and we have crumb cake. So let's open these guys up. And we are going to stamp a few cookies. So here is the first stamp, and I'm going to move it to the other side. So we have early espresso, and you're going to need probably, let's see, my card uses 7 cookies on the front side, and it uses 2 or 3 cookies on the inside. So maybe 10 cookies altogether is what you're going to want. Okay. So I'm going to close early espresso because we're done with that now. I am going to pull in my Pierce mat. I find that when you're stamping with these photopolymer stamps that are a bit more flat, that it does make more sense. It's just they stamp a little bit nicer when you have this Pierce mat underneath. So this here is crumb cake, and I am just going to make my way through these cookies and stamp those. Oh, they make me want to go make some chocolate chip cookies. So awesome. So awesome. Okay, so there we have our cookies, and we're gonna close our crumb cake stamp pad. Now, inside of your dies here, you'll see that there's actually a cookie die. Let's see, we'll put that back on there and put the cookies back on there. Have you guys ever just like thrown one of your dies away when you were cleaning up by accident? Oh, yikes, I have done that, and oh, I almost cried. So you wanna make sure to keep them back on either inside their container or, you know, a magnetic card. So here we go, here's cookies. This one is a cookie, and it does die cut that perfectly. However, I went ahead, just for time's sake, and die cut a bunch of these ahead of time so that I could just start making my card for you. So let's bring it back in, and let's add some of our cookies. So the first thing, I'm going to start with some liquid adhesive, and I'm going to take and put it right here behind the first cookie. And I think this one is going to kind of come sort of out this direction, just about like that. The next one is going to layer on top. Now, of course, you can do your cookies however you would like. I sort of followed kind of what the Stampin' Up did on their card. I really liked it a lot. So I just changed my colors and just sort of worked with the one that they had. Okay, so there is a couple of those. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a Stampin' Dimensional here in the corner and add a bit of liquid adhesive, because this one I want to pop up, and I kind of want it to look like the cookies, you know, is eating the S there, cookies. So pretty cool. Now here at the top, I've got a couple more, and we're going to do the exact same thing. I kind of want my cookie to kind of come out here around like that. And let's do one more down on the other side. Let's see, this one can go maybe right up in there. Perfect. And then this next one, you could, you know, have it kind of come that direction or up, or however you would like. Now this one I don't think needs, it needs a Stampin' Dimensional, because I am actually going to put most of it right here on my card. So I didn't really think that it needed that. So there's the front. Isn't that super fun? Now we do have the inside as well. So let's make sure we do our inside. And I'm going to take one cookie here, and let's see. And then I'm going to maybe take another cookie. And what if this one is kind of up a little bit? And then what if we take and put a Stampin' Dimensional or two behind our third cookie, and we'll add it right to the top. And so then you're going to get a little bit of that dimension on the inside as well. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so let's look at our card. Oh my gosh, I can't tell now which one I like it better in. So let's open up our catalog to page 91 again. And let's look at this bundle. It's right here. So Stampin' Up! Did it in real red. This one is done in Pacific Point. So I'm going to move this over so you can see that. So this one's Pacific Point, and this one is Coastal Cabana. That's right. So I don't know, which one do you like best? If you like my card today, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. I'd really and truly appreciate that. You only have to hit it one time. Otherwise, then you unlike it. So you want to hit it just one time, but that will help me grow my channel, and it'll also, you'll be notified and so forth if you subscribe when I share, some more projects and tutorials. So there you go. You can see how fun this card is, and it just kind of looks, it's not that it looks different, but boy, depending on which color in the background, right? So they're all fun and they all work really, really well. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed this card today. I had so much fun making it, and I do love some cookies now. So it was just really kind of a fun card to share. Now, coming up here really soon, I am going to share on a Friday night fun night this Nothing's Better Than bundle, and I did a cocktail card using the blending brushes, so I'm excited to show you that one. And I also did one with coffee, because that's one of my other favorites. I think if you haven't seen it, I shared my favorite golden latte in one of my previous videos. So we're going to do a coffee card. That's right. So we're going to do one of those, and of course another cookie card, because that is what is on my mind. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please let me know, and don't forget to subscribe and like my card like the video if you enjoyed the card, and leave me a comment. I love to hear what you're thinking, what you're working on, and if what your favorite saying is in this bundle, right? It's just super fun to kind of read what everybody has to say and be inspired by one another. So very cool. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye, everybody.